What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about Tom Holland's recent comments on this Uncharted movie, go over my thoughts on it yet again, and it looks promising. It honestly looks promising, but we'll talk about that in a second. So, he went on Instagram Live a few days ago. I think a lot of people were posting this on Sunday. I think this could have been Saturday, but he basically talked very, very briefly about the movie, saying that filming is going so well, Holland said. The film is like everything I dreamed it would be. I mean, I don't know if you guys played the games, but I was such a huge fan of the game, and it's been going so well. He also said he has like a bruise, the biggest bruise of his life, on his leg due to doing stunts for Nathan Drake. That's pretty much it. So there's not that much comments that he actually said, but look, honestly, because of all of the stuff that's happened with Uncharted, and I get it, like, they're probably under all these different contracts where they can't say much. They're not going to bash the movie while saying it, but, so I'm not saying, like, oh, I'm expecting him to come out there and have some revealing comments like, ooh, things aren't exactly going well. I mean, any movie that's pretty much ever come out, when they're filming it, even when it's done, most of the times, everybody's going to say pretty nice things about it. Sometimes things get out, sometimes they hint at it, a lot of other things, but, so I'm not saying I was expecting him to, bash this movie, but I don't know, to say stuff like that, that's a really, in my opinion, that's a really, really good sign. He seems, look, and I know everybody's not on board with Tom Holland being Nathan Drake, and I've said it before, I'll say it again. I think he's a good choice, even a great choice as a young Nathan Drake. Would I have preferred, like, Nathan Fillion? Yeah, I would have preferred a fully grown Nathan Drake, and what it sounds like, too, is if this does well, and they make this, like, a trilogy, or they keep going with these movies, that it would be Tom Holland. He would kind of grow into the role, which is fine, I guess. Again, I would have preferred, and even when this was first announced, I had hoped it would almost be something where he could do it, and then they would fast forward like 20 or so years, and you could have a brand new Sully, brand new Nate. You could do Nathan Fillion, you could do Bradley Cooper, whoever you would choose as your Nathan Drake, you could do that. Now, again, it doesn't seem like that's going to happen, which is maybe disappointing, but honestly, maybe not. Because if Tom Holland does a really good job, we would, I think, very well want him to continue as Nate. It's just, I don't know, I love this franchise so much. If you guys have watched this channel, you guys have watched Podcast Now, Uncharted is my favorite franchise of all time. Uncharted 4 is my favorite game of all time. I want this movie just to do it justice, and Tom Holland has always talked about the games. In fact, he constantly references them and says that, the movies are going to do them justice, that, what kind of movie it is with the games kind of attached onto it, and then again, talking about it here, saying that it's everything he dreamed of. I don't know. I think that's good. He's a fan of the games. He's played the game. So to say that the movie that he's filming is everything he could have hoped for, what I'm hoping he means is, hey, it's everything you would expect from the games. There's still some problems there, namely the fact that I don't know how easy it is. In fact, I think it's not very easy to put and now again, it's not literally these games. They're not literally taking these games and putting into the movie. But remember, this is basically an origin. This takes place before the first Uncharted, but those happen. Those events happen. So it'll be very interesting if they end up recreating the Uncharted games in the movies at some point, again, if they make sequels to this. But as of right now, the lore of Uncharted stands. This is just a movie in it after, I guess, the young Nathan Drakes that we've seen in Uncharted 3 and 4, but also before the events of Uncharted 1. So, I don't know. As long as you do it right, it can be a short hour and a half, 2 hour kind of movie. They can have the treasure hunting. They can have the action. They can have the jokes. They can have the big stunts and set pieces. They can have the relationships between these characters. I really do think they can pull it off. Like, of any movie. And now, I don't love Mark Wahlberg as Sully. The casting, really, besides those two in general, I'm not really sold on, like, at all. We'll have to see what they do with some of those characters, like a lot of the females even. But look, of all of these movies, movie tie-in games, and this isn't necessarily a movie tie-in game, but they don't always work. I thought the Tomb Raider movie was okay. I didn't think it was literally anything special, but I also didn't think it was complete garbage. The problem with Uncharted is I'm way more invested in it, so I need it for my personal health. I need it to be, like, really good. Otherwise, and that's always kind of what I stood on with this movie, is be really good, make me, like, proud that you actually pulled it off and made this a movie, or don't do it at all. Because if it's going to be average, it's not worth it, because the bar on Uncharted, I think, is so high. In my opinion, it's so high that if you're going to do it, you better reach that bar. You better set your expectations and your I don't know what you're planning on doing in terms of them making the movie. You better set it that high, and hopefully you hit it, right? Because otherwise, if it's a bad movie, even if it's an average movie, I just don't think it was worth all of this stuff. But again, not a lot of comments from Tom Holland, but very promising. I really do trust him. I think he's a great actor. I think, again, I don't know if he works as like the Nolan North Nathan Drake that we know in the games, but technically he's not trying to be. In fact, he's trying to be, I would say, closer to what we saw in Uncharted 3 when he first met Sully. He's trying to be closer to that than he is trying to be Nolan North's version. Now, again, that version, obviously they made in mind that it was eventually going to become the Nolan North, Nathan Drake one. So we'll have to see how they do it, but I trust him. I think he's a very good actor. I think he could pull it off. Mark Wahlberg, I'm not sold on. The movie, I'm still not sold on, but I have such, I don't know, I have hope. I have so much hope that this movie can be something, because it honestly could be really spectacular, and if it's not, it's going to give me a lot of content to just bash into the ground consistently. So we'll see how it goes. So guys, let me know in the comments below, what do you think? Are you excited for this movie? Does Tom Holland's comments, make you more reassured? I'll tell you this, it does make me more reassured. Whenever he comes out and he talks about it, I mean, that does help. It would help if we knew that he knows what it means to kind of do something like this. You know what I mean? The transparency, just kind of like, you know what I mean? Because sometimes there's a lot of disconnect between Hollywood and the people, even though in reality, it probably shouldn't be like that, but they're so high on this pedestal. But if we can kind of get away from that, especially for a movie like this, where it's like, look, Uncharted is nothing without the gaming community that played those games and made them special. This movie needs to be, I think, for them. Like, yeah, it needs to get a wider audience to be successful, but it needs to be for us. Because if you're not doing it for us to start with, then why are you doing it at all? You know what I mean? And hopefully they know that. And whenever he talks, I get the sense that he kind of does know that. Okay, so that's just kind of my final opinion on that. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure, as always, you guys are subscribed to this YouTube channel. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when all these videos go up. And I do a brand new video on this channel every single day. And so I hope to see you guys for tomorrow's video.